Also, D'Amato, I just realized that when we were talking about the fight scene with Jonnit and the one guard that lifted him up, I definitely used the wrong term for solar plexus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You said solar cortex. I thought solar plexus, and I was like, Tyler knows more about.
Yeah, I literally made the same assumption as like, I thought it was solar plexus.
No,
Tyler is a smart boy, and I'm a dumb.
Please, I get terms and definitions and phrases and faces mixed up all of the time. Please always call me out on that if it doesn't sync up. I don't know how to fix that in the recording.
Solar cortex would be cool as fuck, though.
Yeah, solar cortex sounds like something that like you would have on a spaceship when you were trying to create fake suns.
It's like, the solar cortex is imploding. We're going to... What are we to do?
Well, I don't know how your audience is going to check you on that.
Here's what I know doctors. Exactly happened. That happened at least one episode ago at this point, Tyler. So you, future Tyler, have already received thousands of tweets correcting you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And the first time you were like, yeah, I know, I got it wrong. And by the 1,000th time, you wish you were a dead man. You drive past a graveyard, you see the stones of the dead, and you go, if only that were me.
Just put it in the top bumper to the intro to the episode is like, okay, before we even get into this, you're going to hear solar cortex. He knows it's solar plexus. Get off his dick preemptively.
Preemptive dick getting offing.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to tweet right now. Tyler Davis does not know what a solar plexus is.
No, here's the thing. I do. All right? So it's just the delay.
He falls, and way, way, way down, there's a splash, and then something from the sea takes him.
Thanks.
Thank you. This jacket will be just my size come morning.
But I could use the camo now.
Oh, but it'll look so silly.
But I could use the camo now.
Oh, look at that.
Says, it'll be so silly, says Travis as he's like putting this on.
If a coyote were to wear a jacket, would he wear it like this or like this?
I can't. Okay. And yeah,
but as this is the perfect crime, I think this goes even farther.
Oh, look, another jacket.
Are now looking about this level, and this level is most certainly the cargo level. You move about a little bit more free, and this time, like, you know, you're making sure that Scuffle didn't sound any alarm of any kind, and that there is, in fact, no one else here. You see sort of behind like piles of boxes of like supplies that would be for food and whatnot, you can see what real treasure is being held here. There appear to be two large packages here that are held in a cage that has a large lock on it. One of these packages you can tell is featherweave, just a large supply of featherweave. The other is a chest, a small chest that I think would fill Jonnit's arms if he were to hold it. The outside is decorated with jewels that are shaped to look like many eyes. Mm-hmm. The lock itself has an insignia of the slain god upon it.
Is that it? Or is like that's the most notable thing?
Those are the most notable things. There's a lot here. It's just, you know, featherweave is incredibly valuable. Mm-hmm. And that box is covered in jewels. Yeah. So not hard to figure out that whatever in there might be a big deal. But there's other stuff here. If you took some time to examine it, you might be able to tell what other things are going on.
Okay. The feather weave, is that locked up?
There is a cage in
Got
this
it.
cargo hold,
Oh,
and
okay,
these are
that's in
both
there.
behind lock and key in that cage. There are other things in the cargo hold as well that most certainly would be valuable. Like there are barrels that must contain alcoholic substances. There's like mundane coin too, but those are the things that are locked up.
Okay. I'm just going to like leave that and then maybe just like inspect the lock. You're a skullduggery kind of dude, right? Could you pick that?
Sure.
When he's got human hands, absolutely.
That's right.
But he can definitely tell
I
you
can
things
eyeball it,
about
yeah. Maybe next time you should bring a backpack.
I brought the satchel.
You
It's
could have
just-
put.
I didn't want to like run around with it. But also that's a better idea and I didn't think about it at the time.
Lift me up.
He doesn't need to be lifted to look at this lock, but I do like that he asked for that.
You just like belly rubs open.
How hard is this to just like sort of be able to?
Easy. Okay, You case locks all the time.
Yes.
So you are going to have one
One success.
advantage on this when you do eventually try to open this lock.
Okay.
This is an incredibly complicated and difficult lock. You look at that and think, that's a hammer job. That's something that I would just beat with a hammer until it opened for me.
Gotcha.
Because picking it is going to be a real pain in the ass. It's complicated and tough. It might even be something that you'd want someone who has magic to aid you with it in some way. And that's both the lock on the door, which is the more pressing lock, and the lock on the chest, which, you'll figure out how to open the chest later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is going to be a rough job.
Piece of cake.
Are you
Once
sure?
I-
It looks
well-
pretty intricate.
Well, maybe to you. Once I have my hands back, it'll take mere minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. He looks around, and I guess we're looking for the hatch to like the outside. I just want to make sure that that's like not locked or anything like that.
Yeah, you've noticed that there is a row of cannons that have sort of like a temporary rigging to hold them up that have been placed in front of this door. So it looks to you as though like there are the normal cannon slots here, but it's sort of been retrofitted to be able to carry extra guns and aim them out that door. So this ship looks like it is spoiling for a fight.
Yeah. Those extra guns are in front of the opening.
Yeah.
I guess we need to clear these out because.
Well, it wasn't part of our, duties.
Oh, come on. Like,
Fine, we'll do what we can.
what if we like tie a rope to this cage, tie a rope to a cannon that's like in front of the doorway. So that way all you'd have to do is push the cannon out. It would like, no, that's
No,
too.
and then we would all fall out.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I'm not going to do that.
No, tie all the cannons together.
What?
Tie all the cannons together and then throw one cannon out the window and then they all fall out.
That would work. The problem is that it might be
Yeah,
noisy.
it's super noisy.
So it could be something that like if you manage spiking the cannons on level 2 is going to be tough because level 2 is where all the crew is sleeping.
Mhm.
And it's probably going to need to be quieter than what you did on these floors. If after you spike level 2, you come back here and hurl the cannons out, that would be a really great play.
I say we let's just spike all the cannons on this level.
So
Done.
no rigging or anything. I don't think I need a roll from you to spike these because you've already done that. Let's cut over to the ship. It is just about to be daybreak.
Oh, it's about to be dawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go time.
So you are getting your last preparations. You are maneuvering the ship so that it is going to be significantly above, and you're going to be increasing speed so that you can do the zipline drops down onto this other vessel. They're also ready, I think, as like kind of a last-minute resort to swoop in and try and tear the feather weave using the front of the ship. How is Gable going to be entering the battle? Will you be going down a zip line or will you be taking a bird?
First, I have a question. So
Yes.
the plan is to like, no matter what, at daybreak, the battle starts. No matter what, even if we get a
It seems to be at this point the only way that Dref is going to be able to get on the ship, unless you're giving Dref a bird to swoop in and get on the ship now, and B, for you to, make away with this cargo. Because even if you manage to get Dref onto the ship completely subtly and silently now, as soon as that cargo door opens and the cargo gets floated out, they're going to know something's up and they're going to be after whoever did it.
Yeah. So I think Gable's plan is to already be on deck. As soon as the sun rises, as soon as people start waking up and get on deck to start going about their daily business, Gable is already there.
So yeah, I'm going to say you've got about an hour, 40 minutes before people are actually going to start waking up and getting on deck. It's just like this would be the time. If you needed to leave in order to make something like that happen, it would be around now.
Yeah. So, and I think the plan will be for Nodos and the rest of the crew to like zip line down.
Great.
Because there's an element of theatricality that we're going for.
I do love it.
It is theater of the mind.
Yes. So at this point, Gable is fitting up Metatron at the moment and kind of like going through things themselves. There's a little bit of not hesitation, but kind of like this kind of battle hasn't happened in quite some time, and they're kind of scared of how excited they are.
Yeah. You can feel it. Your limbs are ready.
Mm-hmm.
This used to be your job.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, you would do something like this completely alone.
Mm-hmm. But the other thing that Gable is struggling with is like the idea of putting other people in danger, because they know that feasibly they could do this all by themselves, but it's part of allowing other people to help them do these kind of jobs, which will help their chances, but also let them settle their own scores. Like Wendell's got his brother that he needs to kill.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. So Gable's just kind of like petting Metatron because Metatron's obviously the favorite and just thinking. And I think then they launch.
How is Dref going to be getting onto the ship? Was it going to be on a bird or a zip line?
My thought would be bird, because Dref does not want to be part of the boarding party.
Yeah.
Dref does not want to be part of the battle.
Yeah.
So my thought would be bird.
So Flea is still available and Lucas is available. Lucas is less subtle than Flea.
More ostentations.
Yeah, I mean, Dref will probably take Flea as well if Flea's, since Flea's back. Dref sees Gable, like meets Gable at the birds. These things have always made me rather nervous.
Animals?
These birds.
These birds in particular?
Most things make me nervous.
That's fine.
I'm a nervous person. Are you nervous at all?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. I haven't felt emotions for... I don't know what that is. Nervous.
The feeling that things are about to happen beyond our control and things may go poorly. The feeling that we are going to be responsible for.
Hey, Johnny, you want to make some more noise in your chair?
The feeling that we are going to be responsible for men perhaps losing their lives today, for us perhaps losing our lives today. You don't feel any sort of apprehension? Or
No, not really.
you have ice water running through your veins.
I've never looked.
I envy you. I don't always say things corrected, meant it as a compliment. I think that you are admirable. I think the crew looks up to you. They think that you are brave.
Dref, I think you don't give yourself enough credit.
Oh, no, I'm very competent. I'm an excellent doctor. I'm mechanically matched by no one on the ship. I am excellent at what it is that I do, but I know my limitations. I am a pragmatist at heart.
I think that once you get used to the idea that death is an inevitability, you'll stop being nervous.
You mistake me. I don't fear death. I have a great
Then why
respect.
do you create zombies? Why do you hold off death as much as you can in your doctoring? You're afraid of it.
I
That's
don't
why you
hold off death.
You
I
do.
celebrate it. Death is a natural part of life, but it is not the end by any means.
There is a shine in his eyes.
These men, look at them. They are men. They are not children. They know what they are doing. They are all going to an end that they do not understand. I seek to know what lies beyond, to understand what it is that we cannot know. That knowledge is what pushes me forward. I don't fear death. I love death.
If death came for you, what would you do?
It is tricky because if I die, that is the end to my ability to explore death. But if others die, that exploration continues. So I will try to live.
And I think with that, a silence falls between them. Gable, you've come to understand something that maybe bothered you about Dref before, and who knows how you feel about that right now, but something has just cleared itself up.
Mm-hmm. I think I just start instructing him on the bird and how to command it.
And the two birds launch together. We're going to cut over to...
the captain is riding the bird as well.
Oh, yes. Oh,
So
for sure.
the captain's riding the bird. I'm behind the captain, like kind of like hugging his waist and clutching the saddle.
The captain's head is definitely just like fully like back.
Yes.
He can't like support it.
I love it.
It looks like it's like maniacal laughter.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
his jaws open and his head's back, and it looks like he's just having the time of his life riding this bird in a battle.
I think the crew is watching these birds fly away from the ship through the telescopes, and seeing the captain like this has heartened them. You know, he has been
He's enjoying it.
very silent for the past few months, as you have not taken on lucrative jobs or anything. But this is a glimpse of who the captain used to be. And I think
Smiling.
that provides some comfort to them as they face this next wild challenge.
Our crew is dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, they're pirates.
No one really expects someone to resurrect a corpse and have that corpse masquerade as a person.
That's not your first thought.
It's not like, I mean, most of us here are probably corpses.
In our own way.
Yeah, it's rarely someone's fifth thought that that's what's going on.
He's just a sick man.
Mm-hmm. So I
our
want
sixth
to, I want to cut to
The feeling?
the second level, like just peeking up on our way to the second level. You have you've decided to spike every cannon. On the third level, you've drastically cut down on the martial power of this ship. And the bulk of them are going to be, 20 of them are going to be on this next level.
And this is the one with the crew on it?
This is the majority of the crew is sleeping here. And like as you poke up, you can see there are hammocks for anywhere between 80 and 100 men.
Oh, wow.
This is a large crew.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
But
Tread lightly.
don't you get nervous at anything?
Oh, of course I do. When I'm doing something.
You're here with me. We're doing this mission, he says very quietly.
What if we go from crew member to crew member and put some cotton in their ears as they sleep so that they can't hear us?
Have you done that before?
No, but it could work.
I'm going to make an executive order. No, I'm not going to do that one. I'm not going to do that idea right there. But I think you're onto something. There might be a way to maybe slow down their reaction time once the battle actually starts. But I kind of don't know if this level is worthwhile in terms of wanting to clear out because of the inherent added risk of waking up one of these 80 guards.
Tyler, you could also use magic.
Yeah, you do have magic at your disposal.
That's right. And I've already, because we did it with the shot glass where I moved something from one location to another. Ooh, actually, yeah.
You can do anything. You can move sound
this
around.
Magic stuff is trippy.
What if you move some water from the sea into many small basins and we put their hands in the basins and then they'll all wake up and have to use the bathroom at the same time, and while they're gone,
they'll just be themselves. I have to use the bathroom. The worst prank in the world. It just wakes you up and makes you go pee.
It's like, why do we
So annoying.
The line's so long.
Oh, you know what?
Actually, before you guys can continue, since we were talking about bathrooms, can we take a break?
Take a break.
Do you want to be a piss baby?
Yeah, I want to be a piss baby.
I'm going to be a piss daddy.
Well, hello there, heroes. This is Mel D'Amato, and I'm taking over the mid-roll this week because James is a big old nerd and didn't bring his microphones with him on his visit to his parents. I want to thank everyone for supporting the 2018 One-Shot Drive. It's been amazing to watch all the support for the network roll in. Currently, you are just $50 a month away from unlocking Bin Bon and Jubna 2 Part 4. James is really excited to share that one. There are lots of other great milestones ahead, like taking Campaign Weekly again at $8,500 a month. The one that I really want, though, is the $10,000 a month, because then James gets paid real money and we can start a family. Thanks to everyone who joined up and everyone who's planning on it soon. We appreciate you. Now here's James with a radvertisement that apparently he recorded inside of an oil drum.
This radvertisement goes out to Zek, Zovrin, Rabbi, Tiberius, our dearly departed clanker, and Paul. Happy Life Day! Whether we're replacing a wrecked ship at the Pum Pit, grabbing a bite at Stew and Ruse, or getting down and dirty on a Verpine party bus, stumbling, shooting, and seducing our way through the galaxy is always the highlight of my week. And I wouldn't trade this crew for all the credits on Coruscant. P.S. You're right, okay? It's dust. Thanks so much to Savannah for buying this radvertisement. I hope you and yours roll triumphs from here to eternity.
Before we get back to the episode, I want to take a moment to thank some of the heroes who back us on Patreon. Terrence Donahoe, thank you so much. Michael Schmitz, thank you. Nola Paufu, thank you so much, Nola. Ciarain Searle, thank you so much, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Catherine Dooley, thank you. Dalen Yellowhair, thank you so much. Eric Meyerhoff, thank you. Brandy Burrows, Dr. B was the faculty advisor for the nerd club that first taught me role-playing games. Dr. B, thank you so much for supporting the show. Your support means the world to me. Mark Miller, thank you so much. Nathan Agee, thank you. John Linden, thank you very much. Krista Pekarik, thank you so much, Krista. Landon Smith, thank you very much. Jacob Dahlman, thank you. Evan Nyquist, thank you so much. Jeff Barber, thank you. Ankusom, thank you. Captain Chaos, thank you. Jody Clark, thank you very much. Sophia Boyd, thank you. Alexander J. Jacque, thank you. Martin Bugis, thank you very much. And Eli Seats, thank you. Thanks again to everyone who supports us on Patreon.
With all that out of the way, let's get back to the show.
Ready to kill some people?
Yeah, let's do a couple murders.
Just a handful.
So you guys are on the second level of this ship, like looking out over these rows and rows of hammocks that are hung up. There are a few lanterns that are flickering lightly, which serves only to like illuminate the room and show you how many people are here. Now, you were just contemplating using magic in this situation to maybe tip the odds in your favor. Did you have any ideas for what you were going to do?
Okay, so what I am thinking, I got two ideas. One, I could arcana magic the nails into, try and arcana nails. I have two ideas. One is I could try to arcana magic these nails directly into, I guess, the pinholes for the cannons and just try and like knock that out right there. Or maybe I could create, since I can like sort of manipulate sound, I might be able to like deaden the sound of our presence in general and like a section of the room as we go down and like get the pins in by hand. I don't know how hard. I feel like trying to arcana transport the nails into the pinholes would be harder than trying to just dampen the sound around us, but I think like that's a question for the GM.
I think, yeah, these are both really good plans. I will explain to you what will make them challenging. Okay. To arcana the nails into the cannons, it would essentially do that job very quickly. The problem is you're trying to get material in an extremely specific place. So you will need to calculate very carefully where that's going to be, or spend a lot of energy filling a large area with nails. So it's going to be a very careful calculation that will be a very difficult spell to cast. I would call it daunting. Now, there are things that you can do to mitigate the difficulty of a spell or make your spell more powerful. You can make a sacrifice, taking some of your blood and essentially inflicting damage on yourself to upgrade the roll. You can also make it a ritual. This would be taking it from something that would be cast instantaneously and making it something that would be cast over the course of like 10 minutes or so. The longer you make the ritual, the more power you will add to it. And the more elaborate the ritual is, the more power will get added to it. Finally, you can entreat a luminary. You can pull one of these to upgrade it and also flip a luminary card that could go either way for you. Okay. And that would be what you would need to enhance the spell. Now, if we are considering dampening sound in like a particular area around yourself, that will most certainly prevent people from hearing you spike the cannons and really minimize the likelihood of them waking up and catching you. The drawback is if you dampen the sound around yourself, you will not be able to hear if somebody wakes up either.
Okay. Here's a question. Are the hammocks and like sleeping arrangements, are they in the pretty much like right next to the cannons, or is it like chamber 4 sleeping and then the cannons are...
The hammocks are unfortunately scattered everywhere they could possibly be on the ship.
Okay. Or what if, because you said I can kind of do anything with this.
Anything. There are almost no limits on magic, just how good it's categorized and sorted out, because there is also primal magic, which is more to do with nature, and there is divine magic, which has its own areas as well.
What if I choose to put the people around us in a exponentially deeper sleep?
That would be difficult. Anything that you do to a person, whether they are conscious or not, there is a resistance around it. Like doing magic to an object has no will. And an animal has significantly less will. But once you take it to a sapient being, that's when resistance starts to climb. And essentially each of them might be able to resist it. And being a spell that you've never really cast or attempted before, you have no idea if casting that spell could wake them up.
Okay.
And the more people you try to affect, the harder the magic is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like that's something for Jonnit to be exploring and practicing in future adventures. So I think we get up, we see all these people, we see the cannons, kind of take everything in, and Jonnit sort of like pulls Travis back down on the staircase. Like, okay, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm thinking if I can use my magic to make myself as silent as possible. So I might be able to do this maybe at a faster rate than I could before with just hammering in everything. But if I make myself completely silent, I'm not going to be able to hear anything. If you follow behind me, keep a lookout. If someone starts to stir or gets riled up, maybe give me a tug or like hit me with your coyote tail or something like that, a sign.
You can just say tail.
But you are a coyote, and sometimes you're a rabbit, and sometimes you're other things, and you have different tails, and I just want to be respectful of the tails that you have in the moment.
Okay, well, you use your person hand to hammer in the nails.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. That seems excessive. Okay, well then, I don't know.
But yes, I'll keep a lookout.
Okay, daybreak is coming, so I feel like the onslaught's going to happen soon. We've got to move quickly.
Yes, and also it will be very loud when I turn back during the day. The bone noises and whatnot.
Oh, I truly forgot about that.
Which, how could you? It is horrific.
How much time do we have until like sunrise?
I said I think about an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
And dawn is usually when ship crews wake up anyway.
How much time do you feel like you have until this starts to happen?
Oh, probably about an hour.
Okay. Let's go. I'm going to cast a spell just like sound dampening on my person. I kind of feel like if I cast it on you, you wouldn't be able to hear anything either, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm gonna do anything for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm sneaky.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
I think the challenge of this then is going to be this is an average difficulty spell.
What happens if I cut my blood and suffer some damage?
Suffer some damage. You can make a sacrifice of 2 wound points to upgrade the die of this. So whatever you roll normally, you would change a green to a yellow.
Also, I'm gonna cut my hand to offer it up to the gods so I can do this a little better.
Oh, fun.
We don't know each other well. I feel like we gotta. I don't know what your backstory is. You're kind of cool with everything.
Oh, you'll find out with everyone else.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna upgrade one of these to a. All right, so I already have a yellow die.
So you upgraded another one to a yellow. There you
Sweet, and then an average. Cool. What I like about this game over like Dungeons and Dragons is you can do like a million other things around it to make sure that even if you roll bad, you have so many good things in your favor that like it might not matter because I roll really bad in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
Yeah, Dungeons
All
and
the
Dragons is
time.
pretty binary. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you
Yeah.
hit or you miss.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Ooh.
Go me sideways. All right. So,
Oh,
so then,
Will
so
you guys donate to my Go Me Sideways?
that's a wash with one advantage.
All right. So a wash with an advantage. At this point, I am going to offer you a choice. You can have the spell just not work, or you can push yourself to success. But to do that, you will need to entreat a luminary. So it's going to cost you strain, and you'll have to flip a luminary, and it will really be up to that luminary whether you succeed or fail.
I'm going to go with that luminary.
All right. So I need you to give yourself 2 strain.
Well, so according to the book, whenever you roll a magic check at all, you give yourself 2 strain.
Yeah. So that's going to be
okay.
2 additional strain.
Okay, so that's going to be 6 overall now.
Yeah, 6 overall with the 2 that you took earlier.
Yeah.
Magic's hard.
And what a perfect luminary for this particular situation. The
A
loom.
quiet coyote.
The working magic.
Quiet coyote.
The loom is a symbol for all those who take pains to serve the ones they love, but it is also their jailer. It is an act of sacrifice that precedes rewards and gratitude, or in some bitter cases, met with no acknowledgement at all. In the stories, a sacrifice on the loom is how the crane repaid the man who had showed her kindness. It saved them during a hard winter, and it also broke her and caused pain to them both. So, in this circumstance, you are sacrificing yourself and your well-being in order to keep the folks around you safe by spiking these cannons. So, this task, I'm going to say, is even more brutal than originally imagined. I need 2 more strain from you.
Yeah.
But the spell will work.
Okay.
You also had an advantage with that. What advantage would you like for your magic in this case? Again, you've decided to dampen sound around yourself.
Okay.
Can I also suggest a thing for this luminary? So this luminary, it's like your sacrifice is worth it, but it also like causes you physical pain.
Yeah.
For every cannon that you spike as well, you'll feel the pain of that like nail being driven through you as well.
And one of the great things is you can scream because you will not be heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to feel those nails hammered into your flesh.
But you'll also like, it's like if they're on your back, you're also going to be left with like the scars. Like it's not going to physically be bleeding, but it'll have like the scars of those like hammer nails.
Oh, that rules so much.
This is all uncharted territory. Jonnit doesn't know this is going to happen until like he slams his the hammer down on that first one.
Yep.
Magic's hard.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Is there any kind of like damage reflection wound wise on that?
No.
Okay.
I think you've given over more than enough strain, and I think like the 2 extra strain that I gave you, considering the loom, is sort of reflected in this act of like having to endure the pain of this.
Okay. So yeah, let's just say like we start at like the far end of the ship. And so he squares up on one of these guys. He knows that he's kind of still in this like kind of full of himself on this. He's like, oh, this is a great plan. Da, 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 da. He doesn't even like take out the feather weave to like dampen it at all. He just like slets it up, raises it up high, and then brings it down. And as it slams down, there is like, he immediately just sees like white and like just blinding pain in like his back right shoulder blade. And he like immediately falls over onto this cannon. He's just like in pain and he's very confused as to what happened.
Do you scream?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It, like he lets out like, ah, and then, but
of course nothing is
and
heard.
then it's like painful. Okay. So the camera's very tight on him and like he's screaming, ah, and then it pans out to like see what Travis is seeing. And it's just like but he just falls on it, the cannon, and is just like quiet, but he's clearly with his mouth open, writhing in pain. And so Jonnit sort of climbs back up, gets to his feet, and then looks down at the long hallway of cannons. And he's just like, okay, these cannons can't go off. These cannons can't go off. And so he like goes through his book bag, takes out another nail, and then just like slowly walks over to the next one and just like does it again. And it's just, it repeats itself over and over again. And there's nothing that anyone can do.
When you are about halfway through, you realize that, or maybe even a quarter of the way through, the pain is searing at your back. Every part of you wants to stop, and you're slumped over one of these cannons, and falling out of your pocket is that pocket watch, which pops open and you can see the time. Oh. Not only are you struggling with this and is it painful, but you have to go faster.
Ooh. Is that a roll of some kind, or is that?
Let's do a roll for speed, because I think one of the issues is that this has just caused you so much pain that you are really struggling to get through it at the pace that you need. So I'm going to take a look at this character sheet real quick, and resilience seems like the roll that it would be.
Oh, okay.
This is a hard resilience check. 3 purple.
All right. Well, let's do it.
Oof.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Not in the cards on that one. So that is 3 failures and 1 advantage.
Okay. So he is, you push yourself through it. You move over to the next ones, and you're just hammering quickly, trying to deal with the pain, stumbling, so careful not to knock into those hammocks, but your hands are shaking. On the next one, you raise the nail and you miss, thankfully not striking yourself, but even just striking that feels like a blow against your back. Each one is taking more and more from you. You manage to finish the first row, and I think, Travis, you can see that this is taking a lot out of him, that the boy is not going to be able to make it much more. You can tell he's probably got about 2 more in him before you're going to have to move in and rescue him. And I think Travis is just the sort of person who like is able to wait for those 2 more before that happens, is able to watch this tough thing, because you have watched people struggle with labors before. In some cases, you've been able to help, and in other cases, you haven't. And you've learned that detachment over time.
What time is it? How long till sunrise?
I think you're giving yourself a good 15 minutes before the sunrise starts to dash in and grab him. And it's not a question of and I think you know this in your heart. It's not a question of whether or not Jonnit would be able to do this. Like, you've seen different areas where other people would have failed. Other people would have quit due to the pain. And you've watched Jonnit. You've seen the determination in his eyes. You know, left to his own devices and given enough time, he would finish both rows. It's, for you, a question of when the sun rises. So you'll give yourself plenty of time. But what does it look like when you finally intervene?
I think that as as he's like trying to steel himself to do the next one, I realize that there's just not going to be enough time and we have to get out. So I run up and I say, well,
you can't speak to him.
Even when I'm near him?
Because when you get near him, you'll be in the bubble too.
So I get up to him and I motion to try and tell. I want to make him think that someone is waking up.
Oh, okay.
That would be the only thing that could stop him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you give that.
We had a
yeah. And so he like puts everything back in his bag, and he just sort of like as quickly as possible just like leans up against the wall and like shimmies back to where we entered the room. Is everything okay?
Someone was waking up. We have to go now.
Okay. Are we going back downstairs? Somewhere quiet or something?
What was the luminary that affected him in that way?
That was the loom.
The loon or the loom?
Loom. Like what you would weave something on.
Gotcha.
Like a bird.
As we're like getting to a safe place, he's like, I've never done that spell before. Whenever I hit the nail, I don't know, the feedback, it hurt. It hurts so bad, Travis.
Well, when we get back to the ship, we'll just have you practice hammering some more, I suppose.
Travis, it hurt really bad.
You did the best you could.
I didn't get every cannon.
You got enough.
Is it enough?
It'll have to be. Let's find a place where I can scream.
So where do you go? Which deck?
Probably all the way down, I would imagine.
Okay, so go down to deck 4. Excellent. Hey, Gable and Dref.
Yeah.
You are now just pulling up to the ship. We can see soon the sun will be rising.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be coming in loud and coming in hot. Which direction are you coming from?
So we're going in probably different directions.
Places, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be going to like the back of the ship.
Yeah, go to like Thunder in the Belly.
Yeah.
Then is there like a bell on deck?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, there's a bell on deck.
As we're doing this, like we're like kind of flying in pace with each other, but we're nearing the point where we're about to split off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, I think there's a last look between you two, or I suppose you three.
Yeah. Well, so it's like the camera cuts to me. I look terrified.
Mm-hmm.
You look, full of steely resolve.
Yeah.
And the captain winks.
Yeah.
I wink back.
Okay. So I am going to follow Dref right now. You're trying to get in the side of this ship.
So no, I think we're going to just try to like align or alight near the back of the ship and make our way down below decks. But we're letting Gable land first, basically, and kind of waiting to see if there's like a way that.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming that they will make an entrance, and then we are going to try to slip down to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Gable, for your approach, I want there to be some kind of roll of how you do this.
But there's not.
But there isn't, and
My question, like, are there people on deck right now?
Yeah, there are definitely people on deck right now.
How many people on that deck? Too many people to count on that deck. 1, 2, 3.
Well, there were about 10 people above deck that were the night crew, and they have as the sun is just rising, like the day crew is about to wake up as well. Mm-hmm. So there are 10 people. It's the end of their shift. They are very tired men. How do you want to make your entrance?
I want to. So I assume it's a ship. I assume like there's like the higher end here, and then it lowers downward to where all of the masts are.
Mm-hmm.
I want to land right by the bell and start ringing it.
Oh, man. Yeah. So I think this is no problem at all. It's just going to like require a flyover from Metatron, and you will essentially jump down on deck, boom, with a big landing, and then start ringing the bell.
Yeah. Do I need to roll? Or?
I don't think you need to roll to jump down.
And ideally, we don't start doing that until right as the sun breaks.
Yeah. You time it out perfectly. Like you've been feeling your body ready for this event as it got closer and closer, and then you see like the first glint of sunlight, and like there's a quick flash below deck as Travis, as the coyote, like
screams,
holds back a howl, and we move back up to you. ringing that bell, and suddenly all of the eyes on the deck are concentrated towards where that main mast would have been, where you now stand, ringing that bell. And very significantly, one of them is this priest of the Church of the Slain God. That mask silently turns to you. And what does your battle garb look like? Do you have any armor?
So we've got the mask.
You've got the mask.
I've got my sword, my regular sword drawn, held at my side. I usually just wear a heavy jacket anyway, heavy up top.
Yeah.
Mostly for to prevent piercing. And then it's not too glamorous. I really wanted to contrast with the glamour and the glitz of the actual the priest. So very much more leathery and demure, but it's still frightening and billowing because it's windy.
And I think we can see the copper reflection of your mask as it turns across the ship. It lands on the mask of this priest of the slain god. And his face is illuminated, his eyes gleam in this light, and you can see it's not fear, but there is a hint of excitement on that face as you ring the bell, this towering figure. I think the bell is for most men, it would be above their heads. They'd be reaching up to ring it, and it is barely at your shoulder as you're ringing away. Tyler, can you pass me that book?
What are you looking up?
I'm trying to pull up the adversary list here because I had a bunch of cards printed out for this, and I don't know where they went. All right. I need everyone.
Well, may I do a dramatic intro?
Oh, please say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say.
Okay, let's do it.
Crew of the Civility, you have been observed, you have been judged, and you have been found wanting. Please step in line to receive your judgment or have it come to you.
Excellent. I need you, using one of your social skills, just make a roll. This can be coercion, this can be whatever. I think there are 2 blue dice because as you speak these words, it sounds as though the statement is echoing upon itself, as though your voice rings out from the world around them. They feel surrounded by your presence.
Well, I'm going to do leadership, I believe. What's this again?
Yeah, we'll make it average.
Okay.
This is...
And you said 2 blue?
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
Oh, my.
So we got...
Oh, my.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4... No, 6 successes, 2 advantages, and 1 X. Well, it's just...
No, so they cancel each other
Yeah,
out.
they
So
cancel
just
each other out.
use the die to
So that is a total of 4
So these
successes.
are fucked. 5 successes.
5 successes and 1 advantage.
Yeah.
You have terrified these men. They don't understand where you came from. A figure rocketed down from the sky, stands on their deck at 7 feet tall, rings their bell, draws a sword, and tells them to prepare themselves for judgment. All of the people on this crew that are not the priest of the slain god and the captain for the first 2 rounds of combat will be rolling 2 black dice in addition to whatever else they roll because you have intimidated them. It is in your blood. It is the purpose that bore you into this world. And you feel as though you are fulfilling that purpose now. There is kind of a desire, a wanting in yourself that you can't quiet, even though you're a different person now, that is being fulfilled in this moment. The fiery crackle that is in your greatsword when you touch it, you can feel it teasing at your back now. It wants to be drawn. It wants to show itself because these are wicked men. It wants to bury itself in their chests and burn them out from the inside. The priest of the slain god just looks at you, and then the door to the captain's quarters opens. And striding out onto the deck is Captain Franz Fishhook. He wears a black oilskin coat. On it is emblazoned the seal of the red feather, along with several medals that dangle beneath it, showing his station and accomplishments.
World's greatest dad.
World's best boss. Just world's best everything.
Every time a captain of the Red Feather Syndicate takes out a Corsair ship, a pirate ship, whether it's an official medal or it's just something they put down to like denote to others, like, this is what I've accomplished.
Oh, it's got to be something gross.
Yeah, like
because he's notoriously violent.
And he kills the whole crew except for the captain. So what does he have like running down one shoulder, showing off how many Corsair ships he's taken out?
What do these skyship sort of anchors look like? How do anchors work for these ships?
I feel like they...
Is it just like a spear into the ground, like a harpoon?
You wouldn't really anchor one of these ships.
Well, so the wind doesn't like blow it away or anything.
Yeah, but anchor to what, right? They're so far up in the sky.
Tether?
You did have to land at this place.
Yeah.
Like there was you did throw something down and they like tied you down and you let out some of the hot air from beneath the feather weave, so you sort of glided down to the earth. I think you were still lightly floating at a certain point, but ships must dock. This ship does not. It's mostly serviced in the sky.
I'm trying to think if there's like an official capacity of things like, you have these stripes or these ribbons that you wear for the Corsair ships, but there's also probably something that this dude does specifically.
Yeah.
That's like a tattoo or something like that.
You said it's on his shoulder?
Yeah, I think he wears it on the outside of his clothing. It's something that he puts onto his clothing because he likes to display what he's done.
Either like he's ripped off like a body part on the captain, and so he's like hanging it proudly, or like he rips off like an article of clothing and then has someone like patch it onto that side of his attire. I feel like that's not like gruesome enough for something like that.
I was thinking a body part too, but it's held on to his jacket by a fish hook.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice.
So just like a finger or something.
Good.
Or I mean, an eyeball would be radical, but I don't know.
I think eyeballs
Whatever
would
he's feeling
disintegrate
at the
too
time.
quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a tongue.
Ooh,
Takes out those tongues. He
The captain's tongues?
dehydrates them. Yeah.
So he kills the crew, takes a tongue.
Yep. They can't. So when like you encounter a captain that has
tell the
encountered
tale.
Franz Fishhook, he can't tell the tale. You just know by their eyes how terrible it was,
And their lack of tongue.
and their lack of tongue.
Mostly
That also sort of that's a real good indicator.
Open wide. Oh no.
Dentists love them though.
Dentists love them. Find out this one weird trick. You see, like, dangling from fish hooks on one shoulder, at least a dozen dried human tongues. This man has a long beard with
Dozens of dry human tongues.
just and that's just for fun. Those are fun tongues.
Lank, knee-high leather boots full of human tongues.
Yes.
A khaki bucket hat. No tongues.
He's got a long beard that is dark black, streaked with gray and white. His face is leathery and wrinkled from years of having skin stung by the wind of the sea and eventually the air of the sky. He has a wild look about his eyes. They are dark, and as you peer into them, even in situations where he is completely calm, you can see the malice of violence dancing behind them. He has both of his legs, but only one hand. The other has a nasty hook replacing it. And on the one hand he does have, you can see as he's he's exited and like he's pushed the door aside, you can see a large black spot on his palm. And you know that is the mariner's mark. Something that only folks who have traveled the sea have. It's rumored that everyone who has it is either bound to lose their mind or has already lost it. This man is also adorned with a lot of symbolism from the sea. There are not only the fish hooks holding the tongues, but there are a couple sailor's knots that have been woven into this coat, which is definitely like a custom take on a red feather coat, which is something that most Araners who are superstitious would never do. The sea is hated. The sea is dreadful. The sea will drag you down and drown you, so you would never adorn yourself with the imagery of it. He looks across the deck to you. Fran's fishhook, I think, stands at around 6'3", which would cut an intimidating figure to anyone else. But he stares across the deck and meets your eyes, and you stare back into his. And for the first time, maybe in a dozen years, he sees someone who does not fear him. And he smiles. I need you all to roll for initiative.
Wow!
Okay, so we join the crew of the Uhuru, or at least the 3 people who are available in the leadership positions. As
we join the crew, or the people who actually care.
the people who have actual responsibilities, actual leadership responsibilities. It is going to be Travis, Gable, and Jonnit sitting behind a table with the corpse of the captain sitting next to them.
We each do have large Coke cups.
And I think you each have a pile of headshots in front of you.
And we each have one ticket to Hollywood that we are able to give to.
Again, please do not staple your resume to the back of the headshot. Please. Thank you very much. I don't know why they keep trying to do that.
I'm just so happy for everyone. I hope everyone does so well.
I do not. I think we've got enough people on this ship, and I'm looking to make this as quick as possible.
I think it's laudable that people are trying to achieve their dreams right in front of our faces.
So we see a long line of prospective Skyjacks stretching before this table, people waiting with their resumes and headshots.
Spit is interviewing them, getting their sort of uplifting stories to feature.
Yeah.
Holding their families' hands outside.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see if it'll work out for you.
Oh, Spit's the worst.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did just sort of make him the Ryan Seacrest of the Skyjacks world, so yes. Called in is a woman who is wearing a long tan trench coat. She's tall, definitely taller like an than the average person, but not as tall as Gable. And she has dark glasses that sit over her eyes, and I think she's also wearing like kind of a babushka shawl type thing that's over her head. She walks up to the table and slaps down her resume and headshots like very quickly, and then sort of moves over to the chair and looks around as though she might be noticed or watched, and sits. Well, shall we begin?
Well, someone knows how to make an entrance.
You're wearing the same clothes as you are in your headshot. That feels kind of like wearing a band T-shirt to their
What you've been
concert.
promised, darling, is what you're going to receive.
Oh, excellent. Well, I noticed here that it seems that you have a multi-page resume. How many pages are here?
She freezes very quickly, and it feels like you can hear her mutter a swear under her breath.
Oh, now keep in mind, we did specify that all resumes should be one page.
One page.
Right,
It's
yeah.
multiple pages.
I'm sure it's about one.
Well, it's actually, you gave us 4, so...
Somewhere in the neighborhood of one.
Well, it
is less than 10, so.
Yeah.
Darlings, are we going to let the accountants dictate experience? I think we all know that what you're looking for is someone who brings something to the table. And what I've brought is a resume.
Well, that's true. You just bring something to the table.
And I did put that on the table.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
well, I guess you want to join our ship. We'd love to have you. We're always looking to expand the team.
And you're looking to leave immediately.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, we're in port for a
But
little
very
while.
quickly, you'd be away from this place.
Oh, well,
Eventually.
when we
certainly.
left, it would be the launch from the port to the
Indeed,
sky.
yes.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Then we're all going the same places, darling. This works out so well.
Oh, well, I suppose you could come along with us. What are your skills? What would you bring to the...
Yeah,
to
please
the-
give us your top 3 most marketable skills that you could bring to the ship.
Well, obviously, there's ingenuity
All right.
Okay.
and ingenuity.
Oh,
Wink.
very young.
All right.
Okay.
You don't have to say it, you can just do it.
And of course, there's T, C, and B.
Those are...
Taking care of business.
Why did you count those as 3 different things, though? Wait, did you know how many things that was?
I've given you 3 or 4 things.
That's true.
Well,
They'd only ask for 3.
Yeah.
So you're I like your skills, but you're not very good at following instructions. That's 2 specific instructions you didn't follow.
What pirate follows instructions?
Well, the
good pirates.
The folks on our ship certainly do.
Mostly maritime law is very strict in its coverage.
Airtime law.
Airtime law. Yeah.
Are corsairs known for following airtime laws? I thought that was the point.
Well, we follow the codes of the skies.
Which are unwritten
Well, but
and most importantly unnumbered.
Well, wasn't the Magna Carta not written? Or am I thinking of something different?
You're thinking
think
of
of
a
something
fictional
different?
document in a bizarre universe where all of the seasons go in order.
Well, I think what it comes down to is if the captain agrees on a rule for the crew, they must have to obey and follow those rules. And doesn't matter how many rules. If he comes up with 1 or 2 rules during the early week and like 3 or 4 rules in this later half of the week, I mean,
She looks like she is trying to follow along, and you can see her counting out on her fingers occasionally along with you as you name different specific numbers for rules.
Also, it's very dark in here, and I've never seen spectacles that are so dark. Would you, can you see?
Oh, I can see you fine, darling. She says, just looking at Jonnit.
I guess, well, we do want to make sure that you have like clear eyesight. We need someone who has all their faculties.
And we'd also love to make sure that you have a full heart.
Jonnit picks
And
up
that he can't
like an
lose.
inkwell. Jonnit picks up an inkwell and just tosses it at her. Catch.
I think the ink just hits her on the head and like spills all over everything, and she leans forward and like puts her glasses down for like a second to give Jonnit a wink, and then puts those glasses back up as though some conspiracy has been made between the 2 of them in the throwing of that ink.
I'm sorry. I was expecting you to catch that. Are you okay? Do you need a towel?
Do I look like I'm in distress? She says, just covered in ink.
You
Just-
literally
just
have
still
ink on your
dripping.
face.
Well, explain everything.
Isn't it more fun to keep it a secret?
No, it's not fun at all. I'd like to know things right away.
Let's set a rule right now.
Okay.
For the rest of this interview, you're not allowed to ask any questions.
Great.
We'll ask the questions and you can just answer the questions.
Seems like you've bombarded me with 5 or 6 rules.
That was
But all right, I'm
Two.
game.
Would I be able to just cut through and just ask maybe a direct question right now?
absolutely.
So here's the thing. I just wanted to ask, I have 3 apples. I have 3 apples.
Jonnit actually places apples.
I was saving this for our break while we take an hour-long break between interviewing candidates, but I'm going to just go to break them out now. I have 3 apples. Gable has 2 apples.
Oh, do you want me to take out my apples?
Yeah, go ahead and take out your apples. I think a
I have
visual
2
aid
apples.
would be very helpful
I brought
right
them
now.
just for me. I get very hungry.
And if we were to put
both of our sets of apples together, how many apples would you say we have?
Enough to make a pie.
I don't even think that's true.
No, you need lots
You
more
need
apples to make
so many apples to make a pie.
You'd be surprised.
It's alarming how many apples you need to make a pie.
I think from the docks somewhere, you can see like some excited shouting and pointing, at which point this woman like turns around to look behind her and she looks over to you. So do I have the job or?
Absolutely
Not at all.
No, I can't say that you have it at all. Are you avoiding somebody? Is there someone, is one of the candidates someone that you know?
Darling, I don't know what you're talking about. She says as she like has moved over to the table and like grabbed the hat off of the captain's head and like shoved it on top of her babushka.
No, that's not yours. No.
We're going to make a new rule, okay? We're going to add on to that first rule that we have. You cannot touch anything that is not yours.
Absolutely not.
She has sort of ignored you. She's pushed past and like she's starting to like meld back into the crowd. And you're left there just with her headshot and resume. Even though it's all like hand drawn, like these are like wood cut pictures or something that people bring in for their headshots, it is very low res somehow.
Why would you choose to draw this so blurry?
That was dreadful.
That was, but I feel like she knows how to get things done.
Do you?
I don't. It's just a feeling.
Campaign Skyjacks is a one-shot network production. For more information, be sure to follow us on Twitter at @CampaignPod for updates about live shows and other events we might be doing. You can find more great gaming shows over at oneshotpodcast.com. Like Neoscum. Neoscum is a narrative comedy podcast featuring 5 Chicago improvisers antagonizing their way through the role-playing classic Shadowrun. It follows a group of misfits and outsiders. Z, an acerbic cyber troublemaker. Pox, the candy junkie klepto from across the pond. Tech Wizard, the public access actor with a petulant thirst for adventure. And Dak Rambo, the nastiest trucker this side of the Robo Mason-Dixon. Join the irascible Neoscum crew on a puerile rockin' road trip through a weirdo world of tomorrow, doling out street justice to every deeb they encounter, whether they deserve it or not. Jonnit Kessler was played by Tyler Davis, who can be found on Twitter at TylerADave, on Mainstage with Second City, or at I.O. with Devil's Daughter. Gable was played by Liz Anderson, who can be found on Twitter at LizAnderson___, or at Comedy Sports Chicago with the One Woman No Show. Travis Madigo was played by Johnny O'Mara, who can be found on Twitter at Johnny and Briefs, or on his podcast, Dilettante Ball. Dref Wormwood was played by John Patrick Cohen, who can be found on Twitter at JPSoFly, on stage at I.O. with Devil's Daughter, or on his podcast, Hey Riddle Riddle. I am James D'Amato, your host and game master. You can find me on Twitter at OneShotRPG, or on my other podcast, One Shot. The original music featured in this production was composed and performed by Arnie Parrott. You can find Arnie on Twitter at ARNEPARROTT, and you can find more of his work at atptunes.com. This episode was edited by Casey Toney, who can be found on Twitter at Casey Pony, spelled CASEYPONEY, or on his own podcast, Neoscum. Our logo was designed by Fiona Shea, who can be found on Twitter at FionaPup. The world of Sphere was inspired in part by the music of the Decemberists and the card game Illimat, property of Together Studios. The role-playing game used for this production is a modified version of the Genesis role-playing system published by Fantasy Flight Games. There are no kings. Take flight, heroes.
Health to the strangers who've ever been kind, and once for our friends ne'er to rise. Twice to the dearest we're leaving behind, who know we can never deny the call of the sky.
Apparently, this is like a Twitter bit that I and their friends do. They've found like this stock art picture of a woman in sunglasses, and they've decided this woman doesn't know math and she is in disguise.
Oh my God.
They have like a thread on their Discord where they just post that picture at each other repeatedly. So this is okay.
It's fun.
Okay, we really do need to get to this. So she may not know what numbers are, how to do math, or how to be incognito, but she does know how to command a room and delegate tasks so that they get done. So that is the character. That is Math Lady Incognito.
Math Lady Incognito.
Fuck, that's so weird and so funny.
It's very strange.
What a truly strange thing.
That's awesome.
And so I feel like this is a truly blessed NPC to start off with. I'm
Truly
gonna
blessed.